Let's go right back to Genesis 35. It's the story of Jacob returning home to Bethel, fulfilling a vow that he had made about 30 years before, that he would return safely to his father's household, and that he would set up a pillar there to honor God. And so the chapter begins with that happening. God said to Jacob, "Go up to Bethel and settle there and build an altar there to God, who appeared to you when you were fleeing from your brother Esau." And so Jacob settles at this new place. And in this place that he settles, he builds an altar to God to remind him what God has done. Now, Bethel means house of God. And I find it interesting that this place is named that. We typically think of modern churches as being God's house. But as I read this, I thought, I wonder if my house is a house of worship, my home. And this has been on my mind because just the other day I heard a preacher talking about how Jesus would be completely baffled by the modern person's approach to their home. Jesus didn't have a home. And so he said the amount of time most Christians put into their home would be confusing to Jesus because he just wasn't that way minded. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with enjoying your home, but is it a house of worship? Is it a place where God is worshipped and lifted high? Is it a place that is defined by your love for God as a family or as an individual if you live by yourself? Is it a house where people sense the peace and the love of God because it is just soaked in worship? Ken Davis, an American inspirational speaker, told the story of watching TV with his dad once at his house. And his dad saying, "Why do you watch this type of rubbish on TV?" And he said, "Dad, just relax, it's my house." So he said, "Would you allow people to come and do this in your home, this that we're watching?" So the guy said, "No, of course not, but it's just TV." And his dad said, "Well, you're allowing this in your home anyway for your kids to see. You're exposing your home to this type of stuff." And he realized that instead of his house being a place of praise and worship, it had become just like any other home. So Jacob wanted his house to be Bethel, a house of God. He built an altar there so that his house, his home, could be a place of worship. How about you? Do you need to reinstate family worship in your home? Do you need to fill your home with God-honoring music, teaching, shows, videos? Let it be that if there's one thing that's true about your house, it's that it's a house of God.